Morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Here to give you more lessons on how to prove yourself or getting the right mindset and everything. This helps me, I don't know, doing these videos really help me, one, improve my public speaking and doing video work so I'm more confident in doing so. As a kid, I was really shy and everything because I got hair stuck in my mouth. Yeah, as a kid, I was overweight and that gave me a lot of confidence issues and never thought I would be talking to people on a video every single day. But I like doing these videos because one, they're good training. So the new feature that we're going into is a video one, especially with COVID. So I'm glad I've been doing this for like a year, and I bought a high definition webcam and bought microphones and everything. I bought a ring light just to help me produce better looking videos. And I also like talking about these topics. Like today's topic is we don't rise to our expectations, we fall to the level of our training. Because that reminds me like, oh, I have to train every single day, or I have to train something. I can't hope to do something well. And I'm not very good at doing things on the fly. I need to do it like a couple of times before I actually get it. Rarely do I do something good on the first attempt. But I realized that, hey, when I do something enough times, I'm going to get better at it. And if I'm better at it, then when I have to perform in a, high risk or one of those situations where you have to perform it right the first time. Like say you want to go give a presentation to your boss and this is your first presentation, you didn't practice, you're going to probably stumble and forget things and not be as confident as you need to impress your boss. So you just have to train, whatever area that is. If you want to be a better basketball player, you practice basketball. If you want to be a better writer, you practice writing. Anything we do. If you want to be better at relationships, you practice your relationships. So you practice communication skills, you practice humility, you practice gratitude. If you do all these things on a daily basis, then when trouble happens, then you're going to be prepared for it. You're not going to be like scrambling, wondering, oh, what are we going to do? We got one of my favorite quotes is by Mike Tyson's trainer, where he says, we all have a plan until we get hit in the face. And when you get hit in the face, the plan is going to go out the window. So we really need to have a good strategy and a good foundation to handle those setbacks and get knocked down and everything, so that like when that happens and we get hit in the face, we're not going to be stunned and we're going to be able to recover faster. And one things I like about the Stoic philosophy, he said like life is like a wrestling match. Like, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. You might get knocked down or like whatever, but you got to learn how to recover. And if you know the right techniques, you can win your fight. That's why I read every single day. This is why I practice these videos. This is why I practice my social media stuff. This is why I do financial planning and learn about different skills and everything. Right now I'm taking an MBA and I'm taking this law class and I'm thinking, oh, wow, this is pretty interesting. Learning about how lawyers think about, it's called an IRAC, where you discuss the issue between the two parties or multiple parties. And then you discuss the rule of law. So what was the rule that was broken? And then you give the analysis, like, okay, this person actually broke the law, whatever. And then you come with the conclusion, okay, here's the ruling and everything. So I'm like, oh, okay, now I can use this in other parts of my life and help me out. And I feel like that can really be applied to memes on the internet that discuss like political issues. Because to me, an opinion is like the lowest form of human communication. They provide no understanding and no accountability. You just put it out there and I was just listening to this interesting podcast about how Russia and Iraq and China are creating these meme accounts and all these other social media groups. And they start off doing a Simpsons episode or Simpsons theme one, and then they change the story around, and then like they just want to see democracy crumble. So by like training myself to realize like, oh, that could be a possible issue, makes me realize like, hey, what do I need to figure out? So by following this IRAC model, when I ever see a meme, I'd be like, okay, what is the issue? What is the rule of law, or what's going on? What's my analysis of the situation, and what's my conclusion? And I feel like most people just give an opinion without actually adding any content to the situation. They're like, oh, this is how I feel. Okay, why is this? Who are the parties involved? What are the issues at stake? Like what is your analysis? Like which one of these are the most important to figure out? And then you come up with the conclusion, like, okay, what should I actually do? And I'm a big believer that you got to take some type of action. Like, how are you going to make the situation better? In the Stoic philosophy, they talk about two things: the Liberian philosopher and the warrior philosopher. So the Liberian philosopher is just going to learn all these things and just keep it, and just like tell you, oh, here's what's going on, here's what's happening, but they offer no real solution on how to fix the thing. They just bring up awareness, and then the warrior philosopher is going to go out and go make it happen. And that's why I started this Grow with Joe business, because I feel like there's three cornerstones I would like to focus on. One is service, so I provide a service of financial planning and development coaching. Then I raise awareness, so I do these videos, I write books, I do courses and everything. And then eventually, once I get enough revenue, I would like to start an endowment fund so I can provide opportunities for others. So by doing those three things, I'm going to be that warrior philosopher that's going to actually make some change instead of just saying something. Like, it's a lot of work, but hey, I'm ready to do it. So I got to train myself to reach. I'm not going to get up to. I'm not going to rise up to my expectations. I have to train myself every single day to get those areas, and that's my goal. So I'm going to fall to the level of my training. So the way I'm working on my service component is I work on marketing. I work on improving my skills, creating like spreadsheets and everything, raising awareness. So create social media. I'm testing Facebook ads. So that's training right there to help me out in the future. And then the opportunities, like helping, like paying it back forward, the opportunities that's going to come down the road. But if I want to get to that, then I need to do the other things. I can't like, oh, I wish someone would just give me a lot of money, because there's a lot of issues out in this world. Like if you go on Facebook, there's probably tons of GoFundMe pages. There's probably a lot of birthday requests like, hey, donate some money to my charity of choice. And then you have all these other things that you have to focus on. So the way I feel like the best way to do things is I'm going to create a business, make enough revenue. So if I provide a service to someone, then they're going to pay me money. And then I can use that money to help me fund my other things. And right now I live in Cali, Colombia. I'm here in a hotel room filming this and just trying to see the world. And just gives me a different perspective, but also just like I was in the Marines, so I'm used to being alone. Remember going to Iraq in 2007. It's like, okay, I worked by myself there for 7 months, and I had friends, but usually it's just like, okay, go work. And then I had schoolwork, so I was just doing that. I was doing that online, and online learning back then was a lot worse than it is today. I'm doing an online MBA at Syracuse, and the setup is a lot better with Zoom and how they set it up. Blackboard was not very good, but that training in the past of being in the Marines is really preparing me for today. And like, hey, like, and also when you're in the Marines, you learn how to be miserable, to deal with the things like in the Marines of cleaning and like getting in trouble for other people. Like, you learn how to be miserable. And like now when anytime things are miserable, I'm like, oh, okay, at least I'm not in the Marines. So like I'm not rising up to my expectations. I'm falling to the level of my training in terms of what I can accomplish and everything. And just I might get like pushed back a little bit, but I'm not going to fall down. And I really feel like the Marines really helped me with that training of like having the right perspective, knowing how to be miserable, like going into like, I drove from Medellin to Pereira, Colombia. That was a 6.5 hour drive, and it was because there was construction and roads were closed down, and man, those roads were so windy and everything. But at least I could say, hey, I'm in a car. I don't have all my gear on. I'm not in full camis. Don't have a Kevlar helmet on and everything. Carrying a rifle. I'm just sitting in a car, listening to music, and having the driver take me to my destination. I don't really have to do anything. That was a lot more comfortable than going back in the morning. So like, there you go. I had that training of being invisible. And then like from going from Brea to Cali, that wasn't bad. That was just straight. That was just like, oh. And I done like 2 years ago, I drove from Washington D.C. to Oregon in my car by myself. And if you drive through Iowa and Ohio and Illinois, it's just flat and corn. Nebraska, flat and corn. It doesn't start getting pretty until you get to Utah. Utah, you're like, oh, okay, there's mountains and everything. Idaho has a lot of mountains, but the Columbia River Gorge, that drive when there's a lot of snow and everything, oh man, it's beautiful. So that was kind of worth it just to see that. That was awesome. But like, hey, I don't rise to my expectations. Like, oh, like I want to make this. Other people be like, oh, I can't do this. This is so hard. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing it and everything. I don't know. I really don't want to fly here in Colombia because I don't know. There's a lot of issues with the migration office where I'm trying to extend my tourist visa here, and so I'd rather just drive to where I need to go and everything. But yeah, we don't rise to our expectations. We fall to the level of our training and just do stuff to help you train in other areas of your life. One thing they talk about in the Stoic philosophy is like once a day you should practice poverty. So you wear your worst clothes, you don't eat the best types of food, so that when something serious happens, you're not going to be disappointed or set back. You're like, okay, I've been here before. I know what to do the next time around. I remember reading Benjamin Franklin's biography, and he had this decision to make because he owned this printing press and had this newspaper where he had an opportunity to print something that was like defamation and slander against somebody in his town, and it was for a lot of money. And so Benjamin Franklin had to make a decision: do I take this money and print this thing and sacrifice my conscience, or do I not take the money but also have the ability to face poverty? So what he did is he went to the bakery, bought a penny loaf, and he put on his like old heavy coat, and he slept on the floor. And the next morning he realized like, hey, I'm still alive. I can still do this thing. Okay, I'm not going to take the money. I'm just going to say no because I know I can make it. And there's other things I can do to help me out. So like, just think about ways you can train yourself to handle those tough moments. Also look at your life and just see like look at your life and see how you can do a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis is your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats. So if you look at your career, ask yourself, what are my strengths? Write those all down. Ask about your weaknesses and see how those weaknesses can affect your career. Look at opportunities that you're not taking advantage of, and look after threats. Like, hey, if this competitor comes up or our business goes away, like how can I prepare myself for that? So those are another ways to help train yourself. Just look at everything, and then just things are going to happen every 90 days. Something's going to happen in our life where we're going to get set back. And like that Mike Tyson quote, like we all have a plan until we get hit in the face. It's going to happen. You might get sick. You might have this something might break down. It might be really expensive. There's something might happen with a family member that's going to cause a lot of stress. But yeah, you want to train our mind and train our bodies to handle whatever comes our way, because we don't want to stay in that position. We want to be able to move forward. So that's all I have for today. If you have any comments or questions, just put it in the comment section. Monday, I'm going to talk about something personal finance related. So if you have a question about like, hey, taxes, investments, insurance, estate planning, I've been a financial planner for 6 years, so know a lot of stuff. But yeah, hope you enjoy your weekend. Figure out, okay, what do I need to do to train to help myself handle whatever comes my way. And if we do this, then instead of having year-long problems or 5-year problems, we're gonna have 5-minute problems. And I'd rather have 5-minute problems than year-long problems. So enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, if you go with Joe, you can grow with Joe, because Joe knows Joe. All right, take care.